Hello and welcome back. Today we're going to be talking about the Feast of Winter Veil, which is coming on December 16th, lasting until January 2nd. And you might be wondering, is there anything good that I can get from Winter's Veil? I thought the same thing myself. Well, here are some of the best items from the event. In this video, I'll show you how to get these amazing Winter Veil items in TBC Classic, timestamps included for your convenience. Let's get started. Now, some of the most exciting items from the event, in my opinion, are items that persist, and particularly the pets. So, on December 25th at around 5 a.m., you can begin opening presents located in Orgrimmar and Ironforge, and one present is called the Gaily Wrapped Present. Now, this can contain these 4 pets. You can get the green helper box, which is a little gnome pet, or the red helper box, which is exactly like the green helper box, but instead with a red hat. And then you can also get my personal favorite out of all of the pets, the Snowman Kit. This allows you to summon your very own Tiny Snowman minion. Of course, these are all non-combat pets, but what a cool little pet to have, a tiny snowman following you around. And then number 4, you can also get the Jingling bell. This will summon your very own winter reindeer pet, another very, very cool pet, probably just as cool as your tiny little snowman. Now, a big caveat with these pets that you get is that these all require a snowball to summon. But these are all seriously very cool pets that you can only get from the Feast of Winter Veil, so make sure to stock up on those snowballs. Next, let's talk about some of the other items you can get from other types of presents. Now, under the tree, once again, after December 25th, you can find a ticking present, and within this ticking present, you can find a mechanical Grinch. Now, this is actually a combat pet that you can summon. It only lasts for 10 minutes, it has a 10-minute cooldown, and it only has 3 charges, and on top of that, it actually just disappears after 10 days, so it can only be used during the event. It's kind of a weak pet, but kind of cool at the same time. Number 2, you can also get Preserved Holly, which turns your mount into a reindeer. What's really cool about Preserved Holly is that it doesn't go away after the end of the event. It does have a number of stacks, it does have a 1-minute cooldown, but it's kind of nice that it's preserved and you can use it later in the year if you choose to save it. Next up, we have the pattern for making a green holiday shirt. This is a pretty simple, straightforward one. Could sell for some gold if someone's trying to level up their tailoring, something like that. It is a pattern, so you could sell it or you can make it yourself. It's up to you. Kind of straightforward there. Number 4, you can also get the Elixir of Frost Power. This is a pretty nice and cheap alternative for frost mages. If they want to use a different elixir, it's not very strong, giving only 15 frost damage. Or if an alchemist just wants to level their alchemy, it could be valuable for them as well. Number 5, we've got Enchant Weapon Winter's Might. This is another fun enchant, not very strong, but could serve as a cheap alternative for other enchants for frost mages. Not very strong, or maybe an enchanter is just trying to level up their enchanting and they want to go for this recipe. Number 6, we have the Plans for the Edge of Winter, which is a one-handed axe that has a 30 frost damage proc. By the way, proc stands for Programmable Random Occurrence. I thought that was super cool. Never knew what proc stood for before. Anyways, the Edge of Winter is really not anything special, but it's a fun axe for an alt if you have one that can use it at that level, if they're looking for a one-handed kind of fun axe. Alright, number 7, we have something actually pretty important here. We have the schematic for the Snowmaster 9000. Now this is actually a really good schematic. It allows you to make snowballs, which are needed for summoning all 4 of the pets we talked about from Winter's Veil, so having a source for snowballs throughout the year can be super helpful after the Feast of Winter Veil ends. And last, at number 8, we can also get the Pattern Gloves of the Great Father from the Ticking Present. It gives you a little healing bonus and some nature spell bonus, so maybe for a druid alt, again, not that super incredible, not really that impressive, but if someone is trying to level up their leatherworking, maybe they want to go for this item. Now, some of these items you can also get from another gift, which is the Smokywood Pastures special gift, which is actually a quest reward from completing the last quest in a chain, starting with stolen Winter Veil treats, eventually leading you to defeat the abominable Grinch found in the snowy area of the Alterac Mountains. Now, this gift contains exactly the same items that we just went through with the ticking present, minus the Preserved Holly and the mechanical Grinch. So to summarize, it's really just the patterns, the schematics, the elixirs, all those things. Also, Once you defeat the Grinch and complete that quest chain, 24 hours later, you'll get the Winter Veil Disguise Kit sent to you in the mail. Now, this is very cool. It can turn you into a snowman, which is actually another one of the coolest items from the entire event, if you ask me. Now, something to remember here is that it actually also costs a snowball in order to use it. So, once again, keep your eyes on those snowballs. What's very nice about the Winter Veil Disguise Kit as well is that it does not go away after the event ends. Very cool. Now, next, we can talk about the Preserved Holly. You can get this from the Metzen the Reindeer quest. For this quest, all you have to do is find Metzen, which is either at the Dark Iron Camp or in the Searing Gorge, or by the South Sea Pirates on the coast of Teneris. Now, once you complete this quest, you will also get a present in the mail named the Smokywood Pastures Extra Special Gift, which will give you the Graku's Mince Meat Fruitcake. This is a food item that restores 5% health and mana per tick, so it's actually a pretty good food, pretty fast. Now, you can also get fresh holly from kissing someone under mistletoe. Unfortunately, fresh holly only lasts 7 days, so it's sort of inferior to preserved holly, but it can help you save on using your preserved holly if you want your mount to be a reindeer, because it also does the same thing. It just goes away after the event ends. Now, of course, let's talk a little about the all-important snowball now. We know that it's used for summoning pets. We know it's used to turn yourself into a snowman. Well, where can you get them? I'm about to tell you. So, we talked about the Snowmaster 9000, which can create these by, using it. And then you can also purchase these during the event for 9 copper from vendors in Stormwind, Ironforge, Orgrimmar, Undercity, and Thunderbluff. Just look for the vendor with Smokywood Pastures under their name. And the vendors all have the same last name, conveniently. So for Lions, the last name is Jingle Pocket. Yeah, there's some coin in there, right? And for Horde, it's Copper Pinch. They're penny pinchers. I actually think these names are pretty funny. Now, there's also the Hardpacked Snowball. This item can only be found in Alterac Valley, and it's actually really neat. It actually knocks players back when used on them, so you can do some sneaky shenanigans on the Alliance Bridge or other high-up places to throw your friends or enemies off of that place and send them tumbling down to their deaths. How fun is that? But these only exist in Alterac Valley. So, you can imagine during the Feast of Winter Veil, it might get a little more popular, and also keep an eye out when you're up high. Now, there is another present under the tree named the Carefully Wrapped Present. This present will contain a Winter Veil cookie. This will give you a food buff of 15 stamina and 15 spirit for 15 minutes. Not a bad food buff if you're leveling an alt, but you're probably not going to want that food buff if you're raiding. Can't imagine that being the best in slot food buff. And the last type of present is a Festive Gift. Like all the other presents, once again, these can be found under the tree at Ironforge or Orgrimmar, and you can open it after December 25th, and this present will contain the Wand of Holiday Cheer. Now, this wand is actually very special. It's a wand that has the ability to make everyone laugh in an AoE. You basically shoot a frostbolt when you cast it, and when it lands, everyone just bursts out into the laugh emoji. Now, unfortunately, this wand does only last for 10 days, so you can't keep it year-round. Now, the last item that I think is super cool during the Feast of Winter Veil is actually the wrapping paper. Green, red, purple, whatever. These are all super cool. You can wrap an item up into a present to conceal what it actually is and give it to other players, whether that's through the mail or through trade. I think you can have a lot of fun with this. I know I'm personally looking forward to playing around with this mechanic this year. And besides all these items, there's also a fun transmog machine outside major cities that turns you into a festive gnome if you've ever dreamt of being a gnome. But that's all for this video. I wish you and yours a happy holiday season, and that's all from me. Take care.